Good morning, everyone. Chris Profi, Musically Obsessed. Today, what I want to talk about, this is actually going to be my first book talk, and it is music related. And I think every once in a while, as I come across books that I'm reading or past books that I have that I think would be interesting for you to read, I'll definitely show you and let you know about them, and hopefully you can check them out. Now, I just got this in the mail yesterday. It's called Stay Fanatic, Volume 1 by Henry Rollins. And for those of you who do not know, Henry Rollins was the lead singer of Black Flag, my personal favorite lead singer of Black Flag. And he went on to a pretty successful solo career as well. I actually saw a Facebook ad on this book. It was actually done by Henry Rollins. He was actually unboxing his own book, and I thought it was really cool. He is really into music memorabilia, all types of music, from punk to jazz to classical, rock, and everything in between. Now, I have not read this book yet, but the last couple days, since yesterday and this morning, I've been thumbing through it. I just wanted to show you a few things. This happens to be signed by Henry Rollins, which I thought was pretty cool. And I've been looking through this book, and there's a lot of cool black and white photos of so many different bands, so many bands that I've never even heard of. There's old flyers. Pictures of singles and acetates. And all different types of memorabilia in this book. Like I said, a lot of punk bands, but also many other musical tastes as well. I'm just showing you a few of these pictures. They're all black and white. And like I said, I haven't even begun to read this yet. But let me just tell you, there is, in the beginning, the table of contents, as you can see, I'll just pause that on there. It's broken up into years. And it starts in August of 2013, which is chapter 1, and it goes all the way to December 2015, which is chapter 22. And from what I can gather by reading, a little bit of this, there's an introduction, and I didn't even realize Henry Rollins had a radio show. But this actually, I did read the introduction. It's only a couple pages. And on his radio show, he would just play all different types of music. And I mean, here's a set list that he played back in 2009. He opens up with the Buzzcocks. And then the second song was by Miriam Makeba, I think is how you pronounce the name. I'm not even sure. Then he goes into Otis Day and the Knights. And then I think it's pronounced Bozo Chavez. And then Marnie Stern, and then Iggy Pop, and then Chrissy Zebby Tembo, and then the Penetrators, Tenor Saw, Frankie Ford, the Ramones, of course, I've heard of them. Miles Davis, the Blood Brothers, Grinder Man, all these bands, the Evens, PJ Harvey, Joss Stitch, The Fall. I mean, a lot of stuff that I've never really even listened to. And the way that this book is broken up, I told you it's by date. So the first chapter, chapter 1, is August 2013. There's a great black and white of Iggy and the Stooges. And what he does is it's almost like notes, personal journal notes of where he was at that time. I'll just read a little bit of this. This is dated January 22nd of 2006. Well, actually, it starts off here. He says, Fanatic, perhaps like you, I'm a Stooges fan. The Stooges are as rock and roll as any band that's ever been. The first time I was able to see the reunion era Stooges was in 2006 at the Big Day Out Festival in New Zealand and in Australia. I knew it would be great, but I didn't think it would be as moving as an experience as it turned out to be. I remember standing on stage left near Ron Ashton and Steve McKay, and it occurred to me that Iggy finally had a band he couldn't overpower. So that was some notes from 2013, and he goes into talking about, when he saw the Stooges, some of his favorite songs, what they were like when they performed. Again, some early Stooges pictures. What else do we have in here? I'm just thumbing through here. Like I said, I haven't even read this yet. I'm so excited. Let me skip up to, here's some old cassettes. Check that out. I remember seeing in here too, he actually tells you a lot of the music he was listening to and playing on his radio broadcasts. He said here, this is from chapter 8. I made a radio show for this Sunday that features Stooges and Sonic's Rendezvous Band. I didn't want to make it just about Scott by playing nothing but tracks he's on. I thought it would be better to put him amongst other great drummers. It's Scott, Bill Ward, Elvin Jones, John Bonham, Jabo Stark, Stephen Perkins, Ginger Baker, Brendan Canty, Tony Allen, like that. It's a good show. I couldn't bring myself to do it live. This is the track list. So this is an actual track list of his radio broadcast. And I won't read it to you, but it lists all the songs he played. So I think what I'm the most excited about with this book, I like Henry Rollins as a person, as an author, as a performer. So I'm really excited to hear his voice throughout this book. I'm also excited to be turned on to a whole slew of bands that I have no idea about. And I like his varied taste in music. I saw a picture of Frank Sinatra's In the Wee Small Hours in here. Again, he talks about the Stooges. There's some classical stuff. I know he mentioned Ligeti. And there's just a whole bunch of different music stuff in here. And all of Henry Rollins' musings on music. And it's just going to be a real interesting read. I mean, this book is, let's see, it's over 300 pages. Oh, look at that last page. I just noticed that. Here's some stuff on Joy Division. Here's a picture of Rollins and Lemmy. So it's just packed with music geek stuff, and that's who I am. I'm a music geek, so I can't wait to read this. As I start to read this, if I come across anything interesting, and I know I will, I'll definitely let you guys know. But this looks like a great book. I mean, if you are into punk music, if you are into Black Flag, if you are into Henry Rollins, if you are into learning about all different types of music, underground music that you might not have ever heard of, this definitely could be a book that you could be into. Maybe a great Christmas gift. All right. So like I said, I'm going to start to read this, and I will let you guys know future thoughts on it. But Stay Fanatic, Volume 1 by Henry Rollins, just came out 2019. Check it out.